Tonight on News 3 New Mexico, President Joe Biden plans to make the announcement to revoke the country's most favored nation status on Friday.
Are these cold temperatures finally going to go away? Find out in my full weather forecast.
Analysis by the Kaiser family shows foundations nearly 1 in 10 adults, or 23 million people, owe at least $250 in medical bills. All that and more on News 3 New Mexico right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
I am Olayinka Sodunke.
And I'm Aidan Carcia. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has taken another step aimed at putting New Mexico on the hydrogen map. She signed an executive order Thursday that directs members of her cabinet to work together in pursuing opportunities for building a green hydrogen economy. The order also calls for hydrogen to be included as a key sector for the state economic development department. The Democratic governor said creating a roadmap based on the state's energy priorities will provide predictability for businesses. She also announced a multi-million-dollar investment by Universal Hydrogen to build a manufacturing center in Albuquerque that will support its plans to fuel the aviation industry. And in other news, an 18-year-old Las Cruces man who was hailed as a hero for helping thwart a 2020 attempted kidnapping and assault has died in a motorcycle crash. Police say Cannon Bauer was killed Wednesday when his motorcycle collided with a car making a turn. Bauer was a 16-year-old high school wrestler when he body-slammed a man who allegedly punched a woman at a bus stop and demanded she turn her over 3 children to him. Bauer intervened and held the man for sheriff's deputies. Bauer's mother said on social media that her son lived life to the fullest and will be forever missed.
In Texas, the Supreme Court has paved the way for the nation's most restrictive abortion law to remain in place. The Friday ruling has again deflated the hopes of Texas clinics to stop or even pausing the law anytime soon. The decision turned on whether medical licensing officials had an enforcement role under the law known as Senate Bill 8. The all-Republican court in Texas ruled that state officials don't have it and taking away another avenue for clinics to try altering the restrictions. The Texas law bans abortion after roughly 6 weeks of pregnancy and makes no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. Back to New Mexico, the New Mexico Correctional Department says an official was stabbed by an inmate at the Western New Mexico Correctional Facility. Officials said it happened on Tuesday night while the official was looking down a housing unit. Authorities are still investigating how it happened, but noted that the officer is recovering. Court documents show that nearly a year ago, the inmate had attacked an officer at the Chavez County Detention Center with a screwdriver while he was waiting to be sentenced for his girlfriend's murder. A judge sentenced him to 20 years for that killing. He was recently moved to the prison to grant to serve the sentence. Now, Payton, it's been snowy today. What's the weather going to look like looking at the weekend right now? Is it still going to snow or is it going to warm up?
You know what, Olayinka? I think I might have some bad news for you. I think it's going to stay cold, man.
It's going to be cold?
I think it's going to be cold. Let's check it out on my first weather.
Okay.
The moisture's been feeling pretty nice today, but it has been pretty chilly. Good thing it melted halfway throughout the day. Let's go ahead and look at our temperatures across the map. As you can see, things are still pretty cold across the board. 39 in Farmington, 39 in Gallup. You know, I don't think I see anything besides Las Cruces on this map that's above 50. So across the board, things are feeling pretty cold. You check out the satellite and radar here. We got cloud cover across most of the state, as you can tell. That storm that hit us early this morning, looking like it's on its way out. So, I mean, not a whole lot of moisture left for us, but we got to appreciate it while we can. Let's go ahead and check out those wind speeds. Now that it's pretty cold, you're going to feel that wind a little bit extra. On the west side of the state, things are feeling pretty bad wind-wise. You know, we got 20 and 30 up here, but, you know, most of it's at 10, which, like, is a little bit more bone-chilling than it usually is. Let's speed it up. Wind kind of calms down. Central New Mexico getting hit with a lot of wind, but besides that, not too bad. A whole lot of 10 miles per hour across eastern New Mexico. So, I mean, you're going to feel it a little bit more, like I said, because it's cold, but we'll speed it up one more time. And it gets a little bit more windy for Quay County, Curry County, you know, around 20 miles per hour. Not too bad, but wish it wasn't there, but it's March, so what else can you expect? Let's speed it up one more time, and it starts to pick up as your week starts next week. Let's take it back to Aidan and Olayinka at the desk.
Thank you. A North Texas police officer has been indicated on a murder count in the fatal shooting last year of a murder suspect. The Tarrant County grand jury indicated Forest Hill police officer Logan Barr on Thursday for the deadly June 9th shooting of a knife-wielding Michael Lee Ross Jr. A state investigation found that Ross, who was 32, posed no immediate threat when Barr shot from a distance of 20 feet. Ross was sought for the stabbing death of Keona Hall in a convenience store parking lot. Barr had initially been charged with aggravated assault. Authorities also say the person fatally shot last week by a sheriff's deputy at West Texas apartment complex was a 14-year-old boy. Authorities have not released details about the events leading up to Juan Herrera's being shot by a Midland County Sheriff deputy at 2:20 a.m. on March 3rd at a Midland apartment complex. The investigation was turned over to the Texas Rangers and released the day of the shooting. The Texas Department of Public Safety said that the person who was shot was taken to a hospital where he died.
Now, the Albuquerque City Council has narrowly voted to reverse its 2000 action at the start of the pandemic to expand the mayor's emergency powers during a public health crisis. The council voted 5-4 on Monday to revoke Mayor Tim Keller's power under the city's emergency powers ordinance to do such things as ordering closures of streets or places of mass gatherings, cancelling city events, and reallocating up to $1 million in the city budget. The Albuquerque Journal reports that the action by the council means the mayor could only be advisories and recommendations during a public health crisis. Police in a southeast Texas lakefront community say a standoff involving an armed suspect ended when tactical squad officers fatally shot him. City and police officials initially told reporters 46-year-old William Weldon was found dead in his house in Clear Lake Shores after a domestic disturbance call led to hours-long standoff on Wednesday. However, Police Chief Tracy Kelly said on Thursday that officers shot Weldon when he met them with a gun. An officer dispatched to the house earlier Wednesday was met with a gunshot from inside. The officer injured his shoulders driving from the porch to safety. Weldon's girlfriend later escaped.
Well, that is all the news we have for you right now. Make sure to tune back in after the break for Payton's full weather forecast.
But first, here's a look at today's financial market.
Welcome back. So, as I was saying, the rest of this weekend probably going to look pretty cold. 39 in Farmington, 39 in Gallup, 47 in Socorro, 48 in TRC. Truth or consequences? My bad, I just caught that now. Yeah, I don't foresee things getting much warmer this weekend. Let's take it to eastern New Mexico over here. We got 41 in Roswell, 36 in Santa Rosa, 55 in Tucumcari. Oh, that looks like 35. My bad. 34 in Clovis, 35 in Portales. Things are looking pretty cold today. Now let's future satellite and radar. Good news is I don't think there's very much snow in the rest of our forecasts. Eastern New Mexico, same exact thing. Not seeing a whole lot of activity for Saturday for the rest of this weekend. Looking pretty dry, pretty nice. Tonight's lows. Now that's the million-dollar question right there. 19 in Gallup. 22 in Farmington, but I feel like they're used to cold nights up there. 25 in Santa Fe, 31 in Albuquerque. Let's take a look at eastern New Mexico. 32 in Tucumcari, right at the freezing point. 28 in Clovis, 27 in Portales, 27 in Roswell too. So you can tell that most of the state's going to be feeling freezing temperatures tonight. Make sure to leave your faucets dripping. Now let's look at tomorrow's highs. Let's see what you guys are going to be doing on your Saturday. 51 in Gallup, 50 in Farmington, 57 in Albuquerque. Warming up a little bit, still a little bit cold, but not too bad. Let's look at eastern New Mexico. 65 in Roswell. Always have to be different. 61 in Tucumcari, 62 in Clovis, 61 in Portales. So things are warming up, but, still probably going to feel cold with that wind that's going to be blowing. Let's look at the 7-day forecast. We got 65 in Carlsbad for tomorrow on Saturday. We got 25 at night. 74 Sunday afternoon. Things are going to be nice and warm, nice and sunny as well. The wind is going to pick up on Monday, however. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next city right there. Roswell, New Mexico. Things are usually pretty warm down there. 82 next Wednesday. That really stands out to me right there. 64 Monday is the lowest it looks like it's going to get all week when it's going to be windy. And 27 on Saturday night, but it warms back up on Sunday. Let's take a look at Tucumcari and the rest of Quay County. It's going to be windy on Sunday and Monday, but the temperatures are going to stay warm. 71 on Sunday, 60 on Monday. It's going to get a little cold at night, Monday night at 29 degrees, but it looks like the rest of your nights are going to be pretty average for the month of March. Let's look at the home of Eastern New Mexico, Portales. 61 Saturday, going to be nice and warm tomorrow. 27 though Saturday night, so make sure you bundle up at night and keep your faucets dripping like I said. Wouldn't want those pipes to freeze. Monday, just like the rest of the cities I named off, looks like it's going to be pretty windy. Temperature's still going to stay pretty high, and looks like it's going to be pretty warm throughout the rest of the week.
Okay, looking at it right now, I think I'm only looking up to forward rather to Wednesday, because it's going to be like in the 70s on Wednesday. But this weekend, it's still going to be cold, and it's going to get windy on Monday again. Wow. Okay.
I'm just lucky I'm not going to see any part of that cold. I'm going down to Albuquerque over spring break.
You know what?
So.
Spring break's on the way, and so are the warm temperatures, Olayinka. I hope you're happy.
I think I am, since you people will be enjoying spring break, but I'll still be back here in Portales, New Mexico. But it's all good then.
That's all good, yeah.
Nothing like here. Nothing like home, you know.
Nothing like home.
No place like home.
Yeah, so we'll be back after this break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. The U.S., along with G7 and the European Union, are calling to revoke Russia's permanent normal trade relations. President Joe Biden plans to make the announcement to revoke the country's most favored nation status on Friday. The move requires an act of Congress. The measures will be based on each country's national processes. Bipartisan talks in the Senate having been taking shape to take more aggressive action on Russia's trade status. Comes after the White House effectively watered down the House-passed bill banning the import of Russian oil, natural gas, and coal in the U.S.
Now, state officials say employees at a foster care center under the state's contracts to shelter children who have been trafficked for sex have been trafficking those children themselves. The Houston Coronals and Santillances Express News reports that the matter arose at a Thursday hearing before a federal judge about a Bastrode facility called The Refuge. The U.S. District Judge Janice Graham Jack has been presiding over a 2011 class action lawsuit against the State Department of Family and Protective Services that alleged the children were held in unsafe conditions during the Thursday hearing. She told state officials that the foster care system remains broken. Now, healthcare bills are piling up for millions of Americans. A new analysis by the Carcia Family Foundation shows nearly 1 in 10 adults, or 23 million people, owe at least $250 in medical bills. Of those, about 16 million people owe more than $1,000, and about 3 million people owe more than $10,000. This debt does not include bills likely to be paid by insurance providers. According to the analysis, people 50 to 64 years old are mostly unlikely to owe money. The number goes down when people hit 65 and become eligible for coverage under Medicare. Black Americans, women, and people living in the South are most likely to be carrying significant medical debt. The total for healthcare-related debts in the U.S. has been estimated to be about $195 billion. Well, that is all the news we have for you right now.
But make sure to come back after the break for a look at sports with Andreas Chavez.
Good evening, sports fans. I'm Andres Chavez, and as always, here's sports and upcoming games in the sports world, starting with MLB. There will be a Major League Baseball season. Players have voted to accept management's latest offer for a new labor deal, paving the way to end a 99-day lockout and salvage a 162-game regular season. Owners were unanimous in their approval of the package, which still needs ratification by all players. MLB sent the players an offer Thursday and gave them until 3 p.m. to accept in order to play a full season. The agreement calls for the luxury tax threshold to rise from $210 million last year to $230 million this season, and gradually to $242 million in 2026. The minimum salary will increase from $570,000 to about $700,000 this year, with $20,000 annual increases. A new $50 million bonus pool was established for players not yet eligible for arbitration, a way to boost salaries for young stars. The agreement will allow training camps to open this week in Florida and Arizona, more than 3 weeks after they were scheduled to go on February 16th. Opening date is being planned for April 7th, a little more than a week behind the original date on March 31st. The deal will also set off a rapid-fire round of free agency. Carlos Correa, Freddie Freeman, and Chris Bryant are among 139 big leaguers still without a team, including some who might benefit from the adoption of a universal designated hitter. Moving to NMAA, boys and girls basketball are near the end of championship play, with various teams playing for the right to hoist the blue trophy at the pit. Girls basketball has championships underway tonight. Now let's take a look at those championship games. In girls 4A, we have Kirtland Central and Bernalillo. For the Broncos, they're looking to continue with their now 10-game winning streak after defeating Mayamura and Valencia. Kirtland handled Portales in the semifinals on Thursday, winning by 5. Now they are looking to finish their season strong. As for Bernalillo, they placed third in the class, taking care of business early, defeating Silver and Taos by nearly 20. They would face difficulties against Gallup, only winning by 4 in the semifinals. Tonight, one of these teams will look forward to bringing the championship back to the halls of their respective schools. Tip-off begins at 8 p.m. Moving to 5A, we have Volcano Vista and Hobbs, a highly anticipated match as the number 1 Hawks face against the number 2 Eagles. The Hawks come into the championship boasting an unblemished 28-0 record, looking to end the tournament with the perfect season. As for the Eagles, they continue to fight as underdogs after narrowly defeating La Cueva by 2 points. Eagles are coming into this game ready to play their hearts out and bring the blue trophy back to the East. Moving to boys basketball, we have semifinal play underway today for a right to play in the championship tomorrow. In 4A boys, Highland basketball was underway against the 4th-ranked Sartans of St. Pius. Led by Jose Murillo, the number 1 Hornets claimed the victory with a final score of 49-60 and will stay for another day. Their opponent, Del Norte. That's right, the Cinderella team of the tournament, as the 11th-ranked Knights have played every game as the underdogs, beating Silver, Espanola Valley, and now Belen. At 6 o'clock tomorrow, fans will witness a true David versus Goliath. And finally, in 5A basketball, 2 semifinal matches were underway and 2 extended their trip to tomorrow night, starting with Volcano Vista and La Cueva. This morning, the Hawks stood tall against the 3rd-ranked Bears, securing a championship match with a final score of 58-49. Number 1 Las Cruces will face off against the Bears tomorrow night after defeating Atrisco Heritage in the semifinals. There are so many exciting matches to look out for as the road to the pit is near the end. And before we go take a break, let's take a look at upcoming games in Eastern Athletics. In baseball, Greyhounds faced off against UT Tyler in the beginning for their 4-game weekend. Greyhound baseball would take care of business today, beating the Patriots 10-6. Spencer Roach led the Hounds, scoring the only home run of the game and also collecting another run later in the match. Greyhounds baseball will play the Patriots tomorrow in a doubleheader before finishing off the weekend Sunday morning. Best of luck to the Greyhound baseball and the rest of the weekend. Moving to softball, the Greyhounds will have a tough doubleheader underway, facing off against the 18th-ranked Angelo State Rams. The Hounds' first pitch will start at 12 o'clock noon. After this doubleheader, the Hounds will stay in Texas to face off against the 15th-ranked Lubbock Christian Chaparrals in a Monday doubleheader. A lot of baseball to watch now that spring is in bloom. Well, that is all the sports I have for you tonight, but stay tuned. We'll be back at the desk with Olayinka, Aidan, and Payton after this.
So welcome back. Payton, let's look at the weather one more time. How cold is going to be this weekend?
You know what?
It's going to be frightful, right?
Yeah, you know what, Olayinka? I think it's going to be pretty mild, especially for March here in eastern New Mexico. Let's go ahead and check it out. So in Santa Rosa, we're looking at 36 today, partly cloudy. I'm sure they got some snow up there. Saturday, 61 and sunny. It's like the snow never even happened tomorrow. And Sunday, the wind speeds are going to pick up, but it's going to be warmer at 67. Maybe the wind won't be too bad over there. Let's look at Carlsbad, home of the cavemen. Friday, 38 and partly cloudy. I'm sure they got some snow down south as well. Saturday at 64 and sunny, like I said, just like there was never any snow to begin with. And Sunday at 73, no wind like the other places I mentioned. Still going to be nice and sunny. I bet it's going to be a great day over there. And Portales, New Mexico, we're looking at 38 today with the snow, and like I said, 64 and sunny tomorrow. It's not going to be too bad. And then Sunday at 73, sunny as well.
Okay, I think Sunday will be good then. 73 for Sunday for the eyes. I think that'll be all right.
Looks like a great day for a picnic.
Yeah, sure. I think.
I just sort of like hate how cold it gets here sometimes. I don't have a very big cold resistance, but other than that, I can usually find something to do around here to stay warm. But
Very true.
that's about it. Well, that was all the news, sports, and weather we have for you tonight. Thank you for watching News 3 New Mexico.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a great and relaxing spring break.